Everybody, and welcome to the Dota 2 Champions League matches for tonight. We're going to be starting off with a great match, man. We have Na'Vi facing up against Fnatic in a two-game series. I couldn't be happier to start out this great night of Dota. We just got done earlier this morning finishing up some of the ESL Chinese qualifiers. We're going to be doing even more tomorrow morning, so it's been a long day, but I am pumped because we got some of the best Dota you can cast, man. Na'Vi versus Fnatic, and honestly, two of my favorite Western teams to watch, and should be some damn entertaining games. What's even better, though, is that I'm not going to be alone. I'm going to be joined by a co-caster. It's going to be my good friend, Mr. Real Burrows, formerly of Team eHug, is going to be joining me on the mic.
How's it going, Cap? Welcome to the midday show. It's kind of, I guess it's what time? About 5 your time?
It is 6 p.m. 6 p.m.
6?
Yep.
All right. So it's 11 here. I'm been up for a little bit.
It's been a long day for you too. You joined Toby for some of those matches early this morning.
I know, it's been a day. It's been a long day. We'll start with that, and we'll transition into the game maybe one day.
Well,
one day.
Yeah, well, it's transitioning right now, man. We got a lot of bands to talk about. Batrider, Lycan, Wisp, as well as the Invoker, all being banned away. Most notably, out of those 4 bands, heroes that are missing: Centaur, Train Protector, and possibly even the Ember Spirit, though he's certainly fallen off for many teams. No surprise, though, Na'Vi, they pick up the Centaur, first pick, while Fnatic run with pretty much 2 of the highest picked supports here that I think in this current meta. Train Protector and Dazzle, both going the way of Fnatic, while Mirana is going to be the other pickup here from Na'Vi.
Standard picks starting off the game. Centaurs, not much to say. I like Tree a lot in these patches, and I think Tree can negate a lot that Centaur does. So we'll have to see what it does, if it does enough. Do you know if Denny plays Mirana mid? I don't think he does. I think only Havost does.
Yeah, most of the time we're seeing Havost on that Mirana pickup, so it should be a 1 unless Na'Vi change it up, but you're right. Nine times out of 10, we're always pretty much seeing Havost is going to be on that Mirana, so that's what it should be. And I'm feeling Na'Vi, they're wanting to be real aggressive here. And unfortunately, they're going to be going into 2 of the toughest support heroes to go aggressive against, which is the Train Protector, like you said, negates a lot of what Centaur does with Living Armor, as well as Leech Seed. Not to mention Overgrowth as well is going to be a pretty decent soft counter to the Centaur ultimate. At the right times, you could just completely negate it out. And then, of course, Dazzle with the Shallow Grave can have some clutch-ass saves, and Shadow Wave, as well as Weave, both being very, very powerful abilities in the early to mid-game. Now, we're going to see some extra bans coming out. Ancient Apparition and Rubik banned away by Fnatic, so taking away some of the strongest supports. Surprised they didn't take away the Shadow Demon, though. Considering that they can't go for an extra support here. And I'm sure Na'Vi would love to have a Shadow Demon to set up that Mirana arrow. We're going to see the Tuskar as well as the Slark banned away by Na'Vi. Interesting that they banned away the Tuskar, seeing as they ran it earlier not too long ago, but they did run it as a offlane hero, and they already have the Centaur, so guess it makes a little bit of sense. But Fnatic, though, they're going to go a little big here. They're going to go for an Axe as their 3rd pick.
I'm liking the Axe, but like you were going, I was going to talk about the Tuskar too. I think Tuskar is one of those heroes that can do really well against Mirana. You leap away and then you just can follow her. Centaur is pretty good just to stop. I think that hero is going to be picked up a lot more. Good thing I like seeing it banned by Na'Vi. And to mention the Wisp, Wisp has actually been seeing a resurgence. So I think Wisp being first banned is going to be a new thing, and I think it's going to stick around for a while, just because of the map control. But to counter this Axe, what can Na'Vi do? I don't think a Shadow Demon is a good hero, but it doesn't take, it's not good enough. It doesn't take away the instances of the tree armor, and it doesn't help with Dazzle Hill, and it doesn't help with Axe's tankiness. So they need a support hero that can burn through the charges. Maybe a Leshrac, but Leshrac's still kind of weak. What else is there?
What if they go for something like a Leshrac core? Saw that a couple times being run by Fnatic, actually. They turned around in there. Their only match in the D2CL Season 3 so far has been up against Empire, and they tied that series. And I got to cast it. They tied that series up with Empire, and both teams, Empire picked up the Leshrac core first, and then Fnatic, Game 2, turned it around on Empire and decided, you know what, that was pretty damn strong. We'll try Leshrac core for ourselves. So, you know, that's just something that maybe Na'Vi could think about here. Instead, they're going to go for the Vengeful Spirit. So they do agree with you that maybe Shadow Demon is not going to be the strongest. I'm still confident. I know what you mean, like just the Shadow Demon up against the Train Protector and the Dazzle. It's not strong enough. I get that. But at the same time, it's such good setup for not only the Mirana, but also the Centaur as well. I don't know. I can't take the Shadow Demon away when I have both of those heroes on my team.
I'm not seeing the usefulness of Venge, and whoa, what a fun hero that is. I'm surprised that he hasn't been picked up more. He's been picked up. I've seen him played once, maybe with Toby. It was Alliance. They picked him with Abaddon off lane, and I think Huskar can definitely punish people if you have a Dazzle plus a tree. And Fnatic, they just want to roll over people. Just like face this, just balls to the wall. Just run at you.
Yeah, so. You know, I hate you, but that's all right.
All right.
Go ahead and ask me why.
Why do you love me?
I hate you because that match was not casted with Toby. That was with me.
Oh my gosh.
Dick.
Really? It was with you?
It was with me. Yes. They ran. It was. Yeah. They just got trashed on. It was like all of a sudden the Huskar last pick, and they're like, "What do we do against this dual lane? It's going to destroy us." And sure enough, that's exactly what it did. The Abaddon Huskar lane was way too strong. But here it's not going to be seen as a secondary carry here. Certainly going to be in that one position. I don't know. Can Huskar really do you think you would prioritize him for a mid-roll?
A mid-roll. If you have a tree, anything is possible. But if they roam on him, he's going to be completely shut down, and his recovery farm is complete crap, to say the least. And you're going to have to be doing ancient stacking or something with the Mask of Madness. I do, well, not Mask of Madness, or just a mask. But I do like the change with the Huskar and the Ursa, the flaming arrows you can talk about. Now you can get Lifestealer. Everybody gets a Helm of the Dominator now. They rush that. So I'm not liking Navi's lineup to deal with Fnatic's run at you. Drow is actually kind of good if you silence him. Actually, wait. What if Huskar ultis and silence? And then Drow uses silence mid-animation. Does it cancel? I don't think it should cancel.
Yeah, I don't think it should either. It's just a pushback, in which case, like, Huskar just should just charge right through that little gust of wind. That's how I would see it going down. Maybe if it did stop that leap, it'd be great. Like, Drow, 100%, this is awesome. But a Drow Ranger feels like a good pickup and a bad pickup at the same time. Like, in the wrong scenarios, Drow Ranger's just going to be food, because Huskar has that leap in to be able to get nice and close to a Drow Ranger, and that's the last thing you want to see. At the same time, Drow Ranger is just like pure physical damage, which is exactly what you want up against a Huskar. Not only that, but adding to everyone else's physical damage, and then on top of that, we already have the Vengeful Spirit, so you got some synergy there that everybody's getting a lot of physical damage here, and we could see some fast towers going down because of that. But man, this match just given so much, man. I was so psyched for Fnatic versus Na'Vi, but now we got even more. Medusa for Fnatic. What in the hell?
I have no idea what's going on. It must be
new meta.
It must be I haven't waken up and my eyes aren't open, and finally I get to see the hero that I said would maybe make a surgence.
Yeah.
Lina.
Lina's back.
My flame maiden. I don't know. I like Lina in this lineup. They have a lot of stuns. They have Venge to set up stuns. They have Centaur to set up stuns, and they needed a burst hero to counteract all this tankiness. So Lion or Lina, really good heroes in this situation, and well, the bad thing is now they can't aggressive tri-lane. So, and it's Dendi on bottom mid, so you're wrong. You're wrong.
I am completely wrong. So I'm interested to see watching Dendi play that Havos right now is centering himself for that mid position right now on the Drow. So
yeah, they're about to swap heroes. These trolls.
yeah, this is.
Right, I'm calling it. I'm calling this swapping.
Can you even swap
swapping.
this late? No.
Yes, you can.
You can? How late?
You can swap. You can swap on. You can swap before the 1 second before the game starts. I think.
Oh, really? It's the horn blows is when you can officially no longer swap.
Well, yeah, it's either
crazy.
10 seconds or 1 second, like you said. One of the two. We should have somebody clarify that for us.
Well, while we see the lanes just kind of panning out here, let's go ahead real quickly, cover who's playing what. On the top lane, we got the Centaur. Fnatic's going to be playing that big old guy. We got Havos in the middle lane for now. We'll see whether or not that stays, but he's going to be playing that Drow Ranger. Kuro is going to be on the Lina, possibly helping out the Drow Ranger in just the beginning of the match. We'll see where she ends up moving to. They should have a pretty decent ganking squad, though, with Puppey on the Vengeful Spirit, so they got that nice stun combo, and that leaves Dendi is going to be playing the Mirana in their defensive tri-lane, but it's one hell of a aggressive defensive tri-lane, if you feel me, man. That is a ton of killing power between those three heroes.
And they're setting up the quad lane, which I saw yesterday on the mid. Centaur's going up there. I like what Axe is doing. He's not going to get anything in this off lane, but if he's not in the off lane, then that means that they're going to get pressured probably mid. Hani's got to be careful. It's easier to gank the Dire side. That's why you can see this Drow Ranger might be paying off this game, going middle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is certainly. I mean, the last thing I would have expected here was that we were going to see a Medusa pickup. I think I've only seen one Medusa in the 8-1 patch, and it did not fare well at all. In fact, I believe it was the hands of Na'Vi, and it just did not work out for them at all. I can't say I've seen much success out of the Dusa in any of the previous patches since some of the workarounds, so a little bit surprised that we're seeing it, especially in that mid role. I really wonder how Hani's going to be playing this one. He already going in for an early level of Mana Shield, especially knowing the fact that you've got such a harassive, potentially roaming combo of Puppey and Kuro on that VS and the Lina. So I can understand getting a little bit defense here, but I'm interested to see what his build is by like level 8, what he's really going to be prioritizing here. We do have Fnatic's just playing pretty defensive, and looks like we're not going to be seeing much action just yet, and just pulls and passive farming on all sides. So since we didn't get the chance, let's go ahead and cover Fnatic real quickly. Fly's going to be on the Dazzle, that leaves No Tail, aka Big Daddy, is going to be on the Tree and Protector. That's rather fitting. Era's going to be playing that Huskar and harassing Fnatic out as much as humanly possible. That leaves Trixie in the jungle as the Axe, and Hani is going to be on that mid Medusa.
Tower's being pressured bottom lane. First fortify of the game going out for Fnatic, and Axe is going to be rotating. They've also got Fly rotating. They should be able to hold this, but it's going to be a lot of damage. They'll get some levels from this, so it's not completely useless. And Fnatic now, he's going to get a lot more space, so he's got level 2 now. That's about it.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised they didn't pop the Drow Ranger active there when they were pushing the creeps and they were beating on the tower like that. But that is going to be a significant factor. If they leave this lane alone, the towers are going to drop real quickly, especially once Venge gets that 1 level Vengeance Aura. I think if they continue to leave this lane open, you would even consider getting Vengeance Aura at level 3 there, rather than an extra level in your stun. We do have Kuro coming into this mid lane, missing out on a stun there on Hani, but nothing was really going to come of it one way or the other.
I'm surprised they haven't used a smoke gank yet on Hani. Maybe they're just playing it a little bit safer. They just want to be pressuring the bottom tower. It's either pressuring Hani or pressuring the bottom tower. But I guess the one good thing that they have against the Centaur is a Huskar. I feel like this hero is one of the best heroes for dealing with it, just so anybody can leave the lane, and Huskar will do absolutely fine against Centaur, I feel.
Oh, yeah. I mean, once he gets those high levels of Berserker's Blood and he has that life break, you're talking about a huge amount of damage, and then you're not taking anything in return because really Centaur's putting out mostly magic damage. So, yeah, you know, that's not going to be a big issue for him. So this 1v1 matchup might just turn into a 2v1 as Fly's kind of hovering around this this area, probably just making sure there isn't that rotation of the 2 supports that we expected to see so early on. And sure enough, Puppey is going to be going for the aura nice and early essentially adding in that bit of extra damage to help them take the tower all the quicker. And it doesn't look like Trixie's going to be here in time this time around. So the tower should fall. They will be able to commit to it. Train Protector's going to grab a double damage rune, and he's going to head his way over to middle lane. If he actually gets behind Hobost here, that's going to be a quick, easy kill. Fly's going to be forced away. Now they go on middle. Hobost's going to get caught out, and the Leech Seed plus the gigantic right clicks. Good Gus,
silence,
but it's still not enough. That was a great Gus play, but it still did not matter. Bottom tier 1 tower did fall in exchange for that little bit of action, but probably not worth it, especially since they still have yet to shut down Hani's Dusa. That being said, I feel like you don't really have to have that much pressure to shut down Dusa just because it takes so long for her to come online.
But at least the Centaur is getting punished. They got a tower. It's kind of worth it for Na'Vi. First blood for a tower. They'll still have a lot of push once they group up, and the anti-push for Fnatic is non-existent, especially with Hani. They have 0 split push, 0, except for Shadow Wave, and then you have maybe Tree Armor on the tower. Other than that, they're just going to have to dive and hope the best. So, Na'Vi has a good lineup for taking towers, and right now, then he's going to be playing greedy, and he's going to be going a Midas. I'm just worried about Fnatic right now. I think he needs help to deal with this Huskar. So.
Yeah, he certainly does. Maybe once they take this tier 2, unfortunately they're having to deal with living armor now. And with the 3 heroes there, it looks like it's not going to be possible. So maybe they can just rotate out. But first they're going to smoke up, maybe try and gank up this middle lane, as we expected them to do for so long. They sure as hell can't leave Dendi alone at this bottom lane. He's a Mirana, for God's sake, who is going to be going for a hand of Midas. So he's going to be getting a little bit greedy with his build. Not a big surprise, seeing as Mirana is one of those heroes who needs to operate from ahead. Smoke's going to be spoiled here from Trixie. Wanders right into Kuro, gets the call, and if he can get a couple of spins, this will be his death. Stun goes out in time, though, and Trixie was unable to get another spin that could have ensured the kill on Kuro. As you could see how low he's ticking just from that 1 level of battle hunger.
Well, we have Tranquil Boots now up on the Centaur, so I'm liking maybe Fnatic's options, because if Huskar dives, they don't have a stun, so he could just hoof stomp, and just run away after he life breaks, if Era life breaks him. Mid lane, let's check out the CS. They're even. They're like dead even on denies and last hits, basically.
And well, you took a look at the Huskar and the Mirana, too. The 2 safe lane farmers, they are dead even as well. 38 and 17 and 37 and 2. Obviously, a rather large discrepancy between the denies, but that's because Huskar is trying to keep the lane back, trying to starve out the Centaur, while Na'Vi, they were trying to push in that lane and wanted to keep as many creeps as possible. That way they could take these towers all the quicker. So that means Na'Vi should be leading in gold, while Fnatic probably had an experience, and I love it when it's just perfect like that. 1,000 gold lead for Na'Vi in exchange for about a 1,500 experience lead from Fnatic. We are going to have another smoke rotation. Hopefully this one will go better than the last time, as they are going to be trying to pick off the Huskar. He does have 2 levels of Berserker's Blood, which is going to make him rather tanky against a lot of this magic damage, but they do have the right clicks at the same time. Era will get hit by the stun. Curl follows it up. Era, nice little juke there, and maybe he can turn this around with some extra support. Here comes Fly, and he does have that Shell Grave. Perfect timing from him. He's now going to turn on Fnatic and beat his ass in. Keeps on going. Kuro can't do anything about that one, as while Era is low, it's all magic damage coming out from that Lina. And that could be them getting caught out. An attempt at a call to maybe try and catch out these supports as they Moonlight Shadow. Puppey going to cruise right on by Trixie. And Kuro's just going to have to teleport away. So unsuccessful gank, to say the least, as really they just end up losing the Centaur in the process.
Yeah, they didn't pull this creep wave down here, Na'Vi, so when they first did the smoke gank middle. So Tree was able to get level 5, and now he's almost level on the bottom lane. Now he's almost level 6, and he has his arcane boots, and he's stacking the jungle. So Fnatic's doing a really good job. They're up 2-0 right now, and that gank completely failed because you're going against a Dazzle and a Tree. You need to commit more heroes, or if they had maybe a Stampede or hit the Lina stun. But he's still tanky, like you said, with the Berserker's Blood, and Havoski's going to be going for his infamous Mask of Madness, I feel, just to flash farm. It's going to be the new Luna Mask of Madness, but maybe he won't. But he always does this, I think.
Yeah, I like the idea personally. Just means, like, especially if you're sitting in this mid role, you can just go and farm Ancients every once in a while. Honestly, Drow Ranger has enough attack damage, and with the attack speed offered to you by Mask of Madness, there's no reason you can't go in, clear out an Ancient stack every once in a while. And by stack, I mean just one camp. Don't want to get too ambitious with that one. Fnatic is going to be rotating around this middle lane once again to see if they could shut out Havos. Well, no. They're going to go behind this top lane, try and catch out the Centaur. I feel this is greedy of them. Drow Ranger is squishy and easy to gank. The Centaur, he's level 6. You don't have any stuns, so if he's in a good position, you could just pop the ultimate and run away, or maybe even hit a good enough stun that will set up some good teleports. So Vost and Adi just having a back and forth little battle there of right clicks. As it's the battle between damage on Drow Ranger and sustain from Hani's Mana Shield, which he's not really using for anything else. He didn't go for that Mystic Snake, which was what I was interested to see, was whether or not he decided to go for it.
It's going to go down.
Yeah.
It's gone.
They finish it off, and like you said, Fnatic have very, very little to stop this, and they don't have the greatest split push in the world. We do now have an armlet for Eras. So the one good thing that they have, they may not have the D push, like you say, just to be able to kill creeps real quickly from a distance and maybe harass Na'Vi back, but they do have initiation now, at least a little bit. They're going to have it with the axe as soon as he has blink, but for now, with the armlet up on the Huskar, he can life break pretty aggressively, and thanks to a Treant Protector and a Dazzle sitting behind him, he can probably survive through that kind of dive.
I expect Na'Vi to be getting aggressive with Centaur ulti up and Potom ulti online. One thing that they don't have accounted for is the no-tail being invised up, and he's got his ulti and he's got unlimited mana. So they have to be careful with that.
They are going to see those zeros.
Oh, no, Havos is going back for a Midas. That's what I was noticing.
Of course. Of course, I mean, this game is played out so static. Why not go for it now? They're going to go in on Fnatic. Overgrowth being used as well. Era doing a nice job getting away from that stomp, and now the ultimate will be used defensively there. Both the Centaur ultimate as well as, yeah, he's going to take out. Jesus, that is so much damage. Battle Hunger, Burning Spears, Poison, as well as Leech Seed were all taking him down there towards the end. That was just an insane amount of damage over time. And now Fnatic in a good position to be able to take this Tier 1 tower and possibly even push into Tier 2. Na'Vi, though, they're going to split push as much as possible and might just be able to take this Tier 1, but as I say that, Treant Protector is already on his way.
Yeah, if they win a fight, though, they can definitely take these towers fast with the healing. The healing and the Era having that. He has an armlet now. So they can do a lot of work getting the towers down. They just have to get to them and not be on the back foot. And I don't think they're going to be on the back foot. And they can do Roshan anytime they want. Once the Huskar gets his helm, I think they're going to be able to do it. And they have a dual kind of carry late game with a Huskar plus a Medusa. So I'm still liking their odds for even the late game. And they're still up right now, 3-0. And then they're down one tower, though, so far. It's the only bad part.
Yeah, the only thing that really makes me feel kind of anxious for Fnatic is, again, just the Dusa. And whether or not it's actually going to be coming online in time, because Na'Vi do have this kind of lineup that they're probably going to be super aggressive here, sitting about the 20-minute mark. Like, once you have that Blink Tucker up on Centaur, you have all the initiation in the world. You have a large amount of burst damage between your two supports. And then sitting in the back, you just have two right-clickers. Hell, the Mirana is actually going to be doing a large amount of damage. Look at, right now, look at Dendy's damage. It is insane thanks to the basic items that he has. And then on top of that, you're getting an extra 42 damage from that precision aura. Normally, Mirana is a hero that you're like, you're kind of poor on physical damage going into the mid game. But when you've got a Drow Ranger on your side, it's not an issue at all.
Yeah, and Fnatic think they have this late game, I feel, so they're not pressuring.
Right.
And they have two Midases on Na'Vi. I'm kind of scared for Fnatic, even though they're up a little bit. They have Roshan's side advantage. That's why I give them a little bit of the edge still in this go-ahead. But now that X finally has got his Blink Dagger, they should be pressuring a lot more. He might get picked off, Fnatic, if he gets too close.
Yeah. You know, I was just kind of looking for any sort of combos that they can run with the Stone Gates, coming out from the Dusa, because that was one of the abilities that was buffed up a number of times and is pretty powerful, but it's super, super situational. I was thinking about the fact that, like, maybe with the Berserker's Call, forcing somebody to focus, like, look at the axe, you have Dusa sitting behind him, then getting those easy stone gazes. I was expecting, actually, a maxed out Berserker's Call here from this axe, but instead, his second level, his second skill build is going to be in the Battle Hunger first, it looks like. So I'm a little bit surprised he didn't go for that, because I don't see many other ways for them to really be able to ensure stone gaze. And without that, I'm not quite sure how the Dusa is really going to help them out that much going into the mid game, but he certainly has enough damage. Centaur ultimate going in. Moonlight Shadow as well being used at bottom lane. Trixie will be able to get away, though, as the Living Armor came in and just ensured that Dendi could not be aggressive enough. We're going to have a Vost and Puppey doing a smoke up and rotation, and can they do Roshan? It looks like they're going to try it out here. They're two very squishy heroes, but they certainly have enough physical damage, that's for sure.
To go back on your... They should be able to get this. But to go back on the physical damage, yeah, the physical damage from the axe, when you counter Helix, it gets added to the bonus damage of the Stone Gaze. But I feel that axe was nerfed in his counter Helix with the new patch, because you're not going to be getting an insane amount of calls. So at most you'll maybe get 2 or 3 during a fight. Most likely you'll get 2. So it's not going to be that as big of a deal as it used to be. So I can understand why he wants to max out the Battle Hunger, because the cooldown on Battle Hunger when it's reduced is pretty much it's kind of needed.
Right.
But also so is the extra second and the cooldown for Berserker's Call.
Arrow skims right by Era there as they take the tier 1 tower in middle. To not much of a fight there from Na'Vi. They did not attempt to defend that at all. And I can't say I'm too surprised, honestly, especially with how Havost is getting so greedy with his build right now. He wins the Mask Madness, now has a Hand of Midas, and I suppose when you have an Aegis, it's okay for you to be greedy like that. They're going to go in on middle. Hani going to be able to get away. Funnick holds on to the stomp. Now we'll be able to get it. The follow-up arrow. The Stone Gaze, though, holds in. Dendi in some trouble, being hunted down by this axe. Leaps away, but he still has that Battle Hunger on him. Trixie has a leap in just another 2 seconds with the blink and the chop. Does he have enough damage? He needs a little bit of extra there. And Dendi chose to go up, and Trixie ends up getting juked around a little bit there. So once again, Na'Vi try and go in for a gank, and sure enough, the Centaur is the hero that ends up falling, just like the last kill that happened at that top lane.
You can just see how much tank ability they have. They have nothing to really fight against this. They have Shallow Grave, they got the heals, they got the tank of the Mana Shield, they've got the innate tankiness of the Huskar with his Berserker's Blood. Right now they're just kind of running at you. So as long as they can maybe split push the map and get these towers down before Trees heals them. But Trees healing up the top tower, that's why I'm pretty sure it hasn't gone down this game. And they're going to need Havost and Dendi to get big, and for Funnick to maybe get a mech and a pipe this game to be standing a chance against Fnatic in these team fights.
Yeah, honestly, there would just be like this strategy from Na'Vi where they're not really focusing on defending too much. They're doing a lot of split pushing. This would put them so far ahead right now if it wasn't for the Treant Protector. Like the fact that like Dendi, he actually brought down this tier 3 tower at this bottom lane down to like 2/3 health. But it was just all futile because we weren't going to see an early push coming out anytime soon that was going to be able to take advantage of that damage. And sure enough, the tower is now healed up to full. The top lane tower does go down as Zavos uses Mask Madness for that one. Middle lane, Dendi's going to be held in by the Overgrowth, but pops the Moonlight Shadow immediately. They didn't even get the deny there. Trixie does get the call on Dendi, but they can't really do much about that. Fnatic are just going to continue with their push at the bottom lane, while this top tower, I kind of felt like
Fnatic.
Fnatic.
Trade-off. What is Fnatic doing? They lost their mid. They're going to finally TP back.
Hani's going to be taking that stun. And Funnick, yeah, I heard a stomp from him, but it looks like he maybe didn't blink first or something. Maybe Trixie got out in time before it landed.
He blinked before the stun landed.
Yeah, Hani. He's going to be stunned up there. Puppey's in some trouble. Slowed down by the leech. He should go down. As Trixie now gets close enough. Arrow's going to land on Trixie, but again, he's just so damn tanky. Like, that, 4 of their heroes have a bajillion HP, and then you've got a Dazzle who adds in an extra bajillion. This is an insane amount of tank. that they just like Na'Vi every single time they go for a kill, and it's why they're probably not trying to defend their towers as much, as they know they just don't have the nuking power yet.
They don't have the DPS to get through all this tank, like you're saying, so they have to split push, which they did fine. It's just that Fnatic, they kind of reacted too slow, and they lost their mid tier 1 and the tier 1 top. For tier 1 bottom, I don't think it's worth it, but it might have been the only trade that they saw that they could get, because you can't stop them from split pushing. You cannot stop Na'Vi because of just the way your lineup is. Your lineup's more not for picking off. Your lineup's just to bulldoze over and just run at them. So
this is honestly a pretty insane farming match. Like, we've only had 5 kills in the first 20 minutes. At the same time, I'm looking at these heroes and going, oh Jesus, he already has this item, and now he almost has this item. Like 20 minutes in, we're already at 10k net worth for 2 different heroes. Both of them are on the Na'Vi's side, which is the Drow Ranger and the Mirana, both of the heroes that did pick up those really fast hand to Midas. But it is just insane because we aren't seeing any kills going down. It's just a farming match back and forth that we're going to get to the late game here really early on. Oh, no. Ended up trying to go up against the Huskar, but that's not going to work too well when you got Berserker's Blood. Middle lane, though, they're actually going to be able to catch out Dendy here with the Overgrowth following it up. Leap away there by Dendy, trying to get some distance. The dunk doesn't do it, but he's taking down from the Poison Touch as well as the Battle Hunger. He's going to die once again. He's going to take out. The damage over time is true strong. And they do fall, but maybe they can get a return kill. Era is really far out here. And we have Habos making his way in. He's got that right-click damage. He's going to lead with the silence. Now the follow-up stomp. Easy kill for them, especially with the minus armor. Oh, my God. The fact that he actually was attempting a teleport there and seemed to almost get halfway through it is just kind of insane, showing the power of living armor.
That was wishful thinking.
That was very wishful thinking.
You're hoping that Venge will not stun you or swap you, and that maybe his computer would have to die for him to do that.
Maybe that his Dazzle would be able to throw a global shallow grave or something.
But then his TP would have still gotten canceled, though.
That's true. That's true.
So.
Puppy, he is right next to big old daddy right now, but they're not going to be able to catch him out. Just continue the farm game, man. Continue the farm game. It looks like Kuro is going to be going for that Aghanims upgrade.
Well, Navi's on the board, though.
Yeah, they are on the board. They're finally on the board.
And
Swap.
Honey.
Yep, Honey's in some trouble. Gets swapped back. Stun. Centaur still trying to teleport in. Does hit the stun here, but look how tanky Honey is. He's not taking any damage, and now Funnick in some trouble. Honey will pop that Stone Gaze and will just simply teleport away. Funnick will not be able to find the stun in time. Either one, in fact, as Trixie was able to hide in the side of the jungle. Habos still pushing it pretty aggressively, and they do see him with this ward. If they can catch him out here with a poison leech seed, it's going to be pretty dangerous positioning here from Habos. He's going to start going on. Era pops the Manta, trying to focus on that right-click damage, but there goes the Overgrowth, and now everything else, the heals and the living armor, just makes it so Era is now invulnerable. And poor Habos tries to make his first real play in the game and ends up backfiring pretty heavily on him.
That's only 2 deaths on Havos. I mean, you don't want your carry to be dying too much, but sometimes you have to play big and bold. It didn't work out for him because of the supports were there. He was suspecting that they might be off somewhere else, like bottom lane, doing something, since the Axe and the Medusa were bottom lane. But since they backed off, he should have known that they were going to TP somewhere or be somewhere else. And when's this Roshan coming back up? We got a minute until we get to know, or like 30 seconds. Arrow.
Arrow skims right by Hani, and you're right, Roshan is going to be up. I think it had said it was a shorter Roshan. So, should be up soon. Looks like Dendy may put one of his illusions in the pit just to be able to keep some good control. We have a Blink Dagger up now for the Treant Protector. It's a little bit extra initiation. They already had the Axe as well as the Huskar, but any extra will certainly help. And once you have an AC for Huskar, how do they kill him? Like, he's like practically invulnerable to magic damage at that point in time. And then you've got just a ton of armor mixed in with the lifesteal, the heals, as well as the living armor. Like, how do you kill this guy?
I don't know. It's going to be a battle of the 2 carries late game going at each other. I'm going to be interested. You might as well just get out your beverages, your wine, your cheese, whatever you want. This is going to be going on for at least another 20-30 minutes, I feel. At least towards till this next Roshan.
Yeah, next Roshan will be a big clash there. If one team comes away from it with a big advantage, we'll probably see them try and take a lot of map control, take down some towers, and they may play a little bit aggressively off of that Aegis, but I feel you're right. Besides whatever happens with the Roshan, oh, Dendy's going to get caught out. Poison Touch goes down. Dendy does have a significant amount of HP points, though, and should be fine as he just mantas and leaps away. At the same time, Puppey is going to be trying to push in this middle lane. I feel so bad for his medallion, though. Like, he picks up a medallion on Vengeful Spirit. Makes sense all the time. Mixes well with your minus armor. But at the same time, this Huskar, so much armor that I don't think it's going to really make much of a dent. He's got 26 armor right now. So early on, Dendy going to be caught out once again. They may have the Overgrowth follow up, but the leap away. And Trixie decides not to try and go in a little bit deeper, seeing those teleports in. And this is the big issue, is that even though they're doing little bits and pieces of damage on this tier 2, it's still going to be enough to take it down in the end. Whereas Na'Vi, they're a little bit better at being able to burst down these towers, but if they can't finish it, Living Armor just brings it right back up. You can see Havos was going for that top tower and immediately chased away by just one teleport.
Living Armor, can't say enough about it. Just doing a lot of work. They did get the tier 2 bottom. They're just going to back out, and neither team has a good team to be actually scouting out Roche. So Fnatic's going to have the edge in this. And who has the edge fighting around the pit? Let's see, you have Tree that could go invisible. You have X, the call. That's about it. But you have Arrow to scout and Centaur to, with his blink over the top. So I give Na'Vi a little bit of the edge, but you still have Ahani's ulti.
Yeah, I'm kind of feeling the other way around, just because, like, Stone Gaze and then on top of that, the Weave, like, those are two really good abilities when somebody's trying to force a fight on you, especially if they get them in conjunction with each other. Oh, God. Like, that's just going to be an insane amount of physical damage. Like, Honey doesn't need to hit hard at that point in time. You've got minus armor taken down, as well as extra damage coming out from Stone Gaze. Butterfly is going to be up soon for him, though, and that means he will finally get to the point where he is hitting damn hard, and it looks like Fnatic are going to be trying out this Roche pit now.
They have the Butterfly up, too. And are they going to find... No, they're not going to find the Courier. Are they going to find Trixie? Trixie? Maybe not. Are they going to find the Roshan? No. This is going to go down. Dendy Arrow. Dendy Arrow.
It's not taking too long. We do have... Illusions being body blocked. Just buying, No-Tail buying time. That's all he needs is time. So Roshan will go down. Aegis is going to be picked up by the Medusa, who also grabs the Butterfly at the same time. Havost is going an MKB in order to try and counter out that Butterfly as soon as possible. Trixie does go on Havost here. Pops the Blade Mail, doing a good amount of damage back to him. Era will get the leap, and that means they're going to be in a little bit of trouble. Swap goes off, but it doesn't disjoint it, and that means Era will still get hit and be taken down, and this just means Puppey has put himself in a terrible position in his attempt to save his ally. He will now fall. Poor little Puppey cannot get away, and potentially even Kuro. Trixie doesn't keep on moving. He almost had that one. But in the end, not going to be enough, and all Na'Vi can continue to do is just split push. Keep it going. Dendy right now has almost 3K gold. You take a look at the gold per minute. Again, just goes to show what I was talking about. If you feel like you don't really have a good grasp of what are a high amount of net worths in a certain amount of time, gold per minute really helps you out there, which we were looking earlier at 580 gold per minute for the Draw Ranger. It's just insane to have 3 different heroes above that 500 range. Like, normally if you're sitting above 500, you're kind of stomping, but it's just both games have turned into such farm fests that the carries getting damn big.
They're going to be going high ground now, and I don't know if they can stop them. Do they have to check the buybacks here, Cap? Because we're going to have to see this might be it for Na'Vi. They're going to get pressured really heavily. They have Aegis still up on Hani, and they can't touch her, I think.
Yeah, you kill him once, and it's a tough job. Trying to go in for it twice is just going to be kind of impossible, so. Looks like, and Fnatic, again, another big advantage that they have is taking the Treant Protector away from Na'Vi. Like, normally I wouldn't be so worried, but every single bit of chip damage, every single time Hani moves up, gets 1 or 2 shots, it's just that much closer to taking the tier 3 tower that is unrecoverable. Like, that damage is going to be there forever. And Hani just keeps on moving forward. taking it down to half health. Na'Vi, they've got to commit sometime soon here. Look at Havos, though. He's trying to go on Honey. He's not getting anything. Trixie now jumps in, almost being able to finish him off. Era goes in. Centaur not quite low enough. Trixie will be saved by the Shallow Grave. Great play there from Fly. Oh, Fnatic. Era's just getting targeted so badly, but who cares? Honey's just doing work right now with split push. And split shot is just tearing apart all of Na'Vi. We have some buybacks going down, but this doesn't seem to matter. They've already taken the tier 3 tower. Looks like Fnatic may be able to get out of here. Fly looks like he's going to get picked off. Good silence goes down. Hani will try and do as much damage as possible. Will be able to pick off the Centaur before he loses the Aegis here. And he's even getting away. Tramp Protector saved them with the invis, and they have no vision.
All their supports died, so of course they have no vision. And then the supports for Na'Vi actually don't even have vision either. So they need a gem. Oh my goodness. Really well played there from No-Tail, and he still has the Aegis. When is that going to be reclaimed? In a long time. 3 minutes, they can still go sieges. They got the tower.
Ooh, 20 seconds, they can start this push again. They just picked up a regen on Hani. He doesn't even have to go back to the base.
And he's got his meta. So if you thought the split push and his life points weren't significant, now they're oh so significant.
Yeah, they spent such a long time trying to focus on Era in that team fight, and Hani was just sitting there just loving life. You're just like, I'm just going to calmly just A-click my way into your base and be hitting everybody. And he got a couple of kills just like straight right clicks. I don't think Na'Vi really expected that amount of damage coming out from this Medusa so early on.
I was expecting Havos to use the silence earlier, but he wanted to just die and buy back because he felt like he needed to keep on doing the DPS instead of running back to base, because then his team would have died. So it's kind of a good suicide, but in the end it wasn't worth it because Hani ended up living. And so now they're going to have to deal with 2 lives again, and they can't even split push. They're going to have to find a way to defend, but can they defend? I mean, this Assault Crest, all this tank is just doing a lot of work.
It's just insane. It's why they pick up those first 2 support heroes. Some of the support heroes that are like such high tier right now. Hold up, Fnatic. Just trying to stun up Hani. Like, they can't actually initiate. There's nothing they could do about this. Their melee racks will go down, and there's nothing they could do about it right now. They're gonna have to try and initiate somehow. Trixie, he did do a call there, but it looks like he either didn't get the blink or mistimed it or something.
Yeah, and their glyph is down. And that's the Rex. There he goes. It's gone.
He tanks the arrow, but who cares? Who cares? He's got all of this in the back. They don't need to get anywhere near Hani. They're going to force Na'Vi to try and initiate first. And if they don't, it's simply going to be a loss via attrition. As now, the range racks goes down as well, and Na'Vi just seem dumbfounded. Like, they just aren't doing anything. They aren't even like split pushing. They aren't even like trying to get gold in exchange for losing their mid racks. They just seem like at a loss of what to do up against this Fnatic lineup.
They can't do anything. Mirana, even though Denny just got his MKB, they need Havos with the MKB. And if Havos gets that, maybe they can deal with the butterfly in the tank. But until then, they have no answers for this Dusa right now. The Aegis will be reclaimed soon. Right now, right? I think it should be now. And then they can fight maybe. Or they might just try to go for a split push base race. If they actually go for a base race, they could work out. You have 4 ranged heroes, and you could maybe go for the throne.
Okay, well they got the MKB. That's really what they were waiting on, I feel, is that their biggest damage dealer was having a hard time just hitting Medusa. Now that you can, whoa, Centaur jumping in deep there, pops the ultimate, but gonna get caught by Trixie. He grabs 2, and now Hani begins to do his work, but he's being torn up by Havos, gets the Shallow Grave, and the Aegis is down. You're right, this bad arrow lands on Hani, and that means he will fall. Trixie trying to get aggro onto somebody. No-Tail will fall in the back now. Trixie goes down as well. Arrow's gonna be in some trouble as the swap goes off, and he's gonna get just turned around on. Kuro finally throws down the Laguna Blade, and everybody is wiped there from Fnatic. What a big turnaround from what was just like Fnatic seemingly not caring as they just waltz into the middle racks and took everything there. And then the second time around where they try and go bottom and just torn apart by the right clicks of the Drill Ranger, who destroyed the Medusa in a very short amount of time. It goes to show the big difference that having a butterfly makes and the big difference of being able to counter that butterfly with an MKB.
Yeah, Denny was hitting on him too, and Hani didn't get his ulti off during that fight. That's the biggest issue. And they didn't do enough. I don't know what the Axe did that fight. He just probably melted after the right clicks. After Hani died, they just all got overwhelmed by the DPS because then they couldn't do anything.
Really, it felt like he just went on the wrong heroes. Like, he grabbed the Centaur and the Lina. Like, those are two of the most unimportant heroes. You've got two different heroes. Very, very squishy, glass cannon-styled range damage dealers that tore the Medusa apart. Those are the guys you need to initiate on because you're right now. Yeah, Dendi. Leap away before. Now the swap goes off as well. Yules is going to go down, trying to hold Dendi in place a little bit longer, but not going to be able to get that kill. We do have an arrow that's going to be able to land on No Tail. Fnatic stuns up Trixie. Trixie going to be torn apart. The Laguna Blade goes down. Curl saves himself a little bit of time. Now Era may fall. Shellgrave goes down. Hani's trying to do what work he can. He caught Avos. Avos is going to fall. Trixie goes down as well. Couldn't get the dunk, though, meaning that they should not be able to pursue. Well, actually, Trixie, he can blink forward, maybe get a Battle Hunger and grab one of these supports as they're so damn slow. They do have Tranquil Boots on Puppey. Looks like he will be able to get away. Trixie, though, yet to blink out. I'm kind of surprised he actually wasn't able to get close enough. It looks like he did blink, but I don't know where he blinked to. He
blinked behind the creeps, and the creeps were blocking him, and he didn't get the Battle Hunger off.
Dear.
They needed that. Forcing out the buybacks, that's going to be worth it. Centaur doesn't have an ulti. I don't think they can chase. They can't chase.
Yeah, and why not just wait till the next Roshan as well as Scotty when it's up for Hani? You said last time the big problem was the fact that he didn't get off zone gaze. Well, this time he did, and Hobos was not able to turn around in time and got caught by that stone gaze, and the team fight was over at that moment. Hit. Oh, Hani, he's going to be in some trouble. Trixie's coming in. He's going to try and save his ally. Goes in on Puppey, trying to grab him. Hani does get the Shellgrave. He's outputting a lot of damage. There goes Hobos. He might just be able to finish him all off. Laguna Blade will do enough work to be able to finish him in the end, but Era, he's the other semi-carry doing a lot of damage. We'll be able to wipe out the rest of these heroes, and Na'Vi gonna have to back away. Dendi looks like he may survive here. He's immediately gonna go for the split push and just try and play the mobility game. He knows that the heroes that he's most scared of have already gone down, so he's just gonna try and drag attention away from this bottom set of racks, keep this push away. And hopefully we'll be able to get away with it. Yule Scepter catches them out. Dendi does land the arrow. Starstorm goes down as well. He has another leap in 10 seconds. Pops the last drum charge. And now trying to keep ahead of No Tail. If he gets the lead seat, though, Dendi will now fall. He's going to take out from that one 1,000 gold going the way of No Tail. And now Era about ready to go uphill. Up against the Centaur should not be a problem whatsoever.
Dendi has buyback. He should be buying back. No, they should have had Dendi buyback at the same time as Lina when Lina came up, and then, well, they don't need to waste the buyback yet because it's still it's a 3v3 right now, and they they're gonna die if they don't buy back on Dendi.
Era's going to turn around here. He does have, he's going to jump in on Fnatic. Fnatic's going to go down, swap, but the Yule Scepter immediately goes out from No Tail. Great play. He tries to get close enough. They will finish off Fnatic, and now slows up Kuro as well. Leech Seed getting Era in range. He does have another Laguna Blade turn around on Fly. Says back the hell off. Puppey, though, from his swap that he did earlier, is in some serious trouble. He will go down. Arrow does land on Era, but can they really go into Hani like this? They need to wait for this Drow Ranger. Unfortunately, they don't have that big Centaur. That was supposed to be that sort of tank in the front, initiating and holding back a lot of the Fnatic members. But now they're just left with three very squishy heroes that Trixie gets and good initiation on one of them. That should be a second set of racks. There it is. He jumps in on Havos and turning on the Blade Mail, going to be able to do a good amount of damage there, and Havos just gets torn apart, dunked on. Kuro's going to be next, and Havos calls the GG. This is definitely over. They already lost the Drow Ranger. Dendi's going to go down at the very end, and Fnatic just take control of the base. Despite the fact of the lack of kills for the first, 25 minutes of the game, that was rather a very, very action-packed finish, as we had a ton of kills going down and felt really, really close. It was just really Fnatic, I think, had one big blunder there at the bottom lane where Trixie did not jump on one of the two big damage dealers, and then the right clicks came in and just destroyed the Dusa. That, for me, was what gave Na'Vi a little bit of hope, but otherwise, this was just a well-crafted and well-executed lineup here from Fnatic.
Going back to the draft, I didn't like the Venge pick to deal with the... I told you why, because of the Shadow. They had nothing to do with the arm. They had zero things to negate the armor and nothing for the Dazzle except for the silence from Hivost. But he missed some of the silences on the Shadow Priest, and he had to do it on the Medusa some of the fights, else he was going to be casting the ulti. And then got out some good graves this game by Fly, saving him. And then also, the only thing that counters what Fnatic were doing is split push. They had split push, but then the tree, it countered the split push. So they were just at a loss from there.
You're right, man. That was a very impressive play there from Fnatic. Exactly what I want to see, because nobody's betting their rares against Na'Vi not making a comeback in Game 2. So we're going to take a short break, be back with Game 2, Fnatic versus Na'Vi in the Dota 2 Champions League Season 3.